Hey everyone, this is Sam. I'm here with Brendan.
Hey, what's up?
And we're going to be talking about the Pokemon that we chose to catch way early in the game because there's a huge variety of Pokemon early
There's
on,
a very big variety of Pokemon this time around.
Yeah, and you can catch almost every type really early, and we chose types that we knew and Pokemon that we knew would become awesome eventually that are just not our starter Pokemon, but much better Pokemon.
Yeah, kind of the Pokemon that you're gonna have around for a while. They'll be good for a lot of different gyms. You can swap them out. You can keep on your team when the need
Basically
arises.
anything but Bunnelby.
Anything except for Bunnelby.
No, we have some cool recommendations, though. And, of course, and we've talked about this in other videos, my personal choice that you can get really early on is a Pikachu.
That's my choice.
Oh, is it one of your choices, too?
Well,
I'm sorry. We do have a similar Pokemon stash because we're both
that
awesome
is true.
Pokemon
I mean,
players.
no matter what your starter is, whether it's going to be Fennekin or Froakie or Chespin, you're going to want to complement him with, Charmander, Bulbasaur, Squirtle, whatever you choose. Make sure you get an opposite. And especially now, I think through the end of the year, if you go all online to get a mystery gift before you start the game, you get a free, what's his name? I'm just blanking out.
The fire.
Torchic. You get a free Torchic. Yeah. So if you were to choose, say, a Froakie, and then get a Bulbasaur,
which is what I did,
and you get a Torchic, that's all three types
starter
right
Pokemon
there.
from previous games, including previous games. And then you can get a Pikachu, which is, technically a starter Pokemon from Pokemon Yellow, and you have 4 starter Pokemon
Four starter
types.
Pokemon, each with their own unique spin. You get fire, water, electricity, and grass. So to fill in that gap, we have our little personal favorites. I really liked Honedge. He is a sword Pokemon.
Yeah.
That's right. They made a Pokemon out of entirely a sword.
And
I think he's awesome.
He's a Steel
Ghost.
Steel Ghost.
Which means that a lot of Pokemon you're going to find early game are normal types, like,
and do you know where
Bunnelby
you
that
find
we all
him?
hate. He can't even touch Honedge. That gives him a huge advantage.
I think so first of all, Pikachu is found in the Santaloon Forest, we should mention.
Oh, yeah.
And where's Honedge found?
Honedge is found on the way to Parfum Palace. There's these 2 giant, grass hedges on both sides
tall
of the
grass.
palace.
Yeah.
Just walk through there, you're going to find him. He's
there cutting down the tall grass.
Yes,
is what he's doing.
he is the gardener.
I don't know why we're calling him he, because there's also Lady Ghost Swords, too, out there, so
true.
Don't want to be offensive. So I was going to recommend that you pick up a Pancham, and this may not last you as long as other Pokemon that we're talking about, but it's a really good early-game Pokemon that you'll use a lot because you can teach him. This is the Panda Pokemon that you can catch.
Panda Jr.
I think you catch him in the same tall grass in that.
He's
that
right
region.
Before that city, right as you leave Lumiose the first time.
Okay. On the Versant Road.
Yeah.
Route 5. You can catch Pancham there, and he's the Panda Pokemon, and he's a fighting Pokemon, which you actually need for the Rock Gym that's coming up after that, which is good.
Yeah, I taught him strength and Rock Smash.
Right.
He's
your boulder moving Pokemon, and he also can learn False Swipe, which I mentioned, which takes it's a TM that takes down any Pokemon you're fighting to 1 HP, making them really easy to catch. So I kind of built him and my Bulbasaur, or you could use Pikachu for this too, as your Paralyze, Sleep, combo with him to take him down to 1 HP, and you're set. You catch any Pokemon. That way. That's the way to catch a Pokemon.
And I don't want to spoil too much, but he does have a really nice evolution into Kung Fu Panda Angry version. But if you want to figure that out, check the wiki out, and we can have the details on how you get that bigger Pokemon. But as far as starters, that area next to the first gym actually has a lot of Pokemon besides Pikachu. If you wanting to complement your team with other things.
Yeah, there's also the Fletchling there.
Fletchling, yeah. He's actually not just a Pidgey bird, he's also a Firebird.
Yeah,
so if you don't want
great.
Torchic, go for that guy.
Exactly. Or he actually complements Torchic, because Torchic doesn't have a lot of flying moves. Torchic's kind of a chicken, right? So Fletchinder, which he becomes, is like a cool Firebird that can use a lot of flying moves and also fire moves. So just a really good Pokemon to have around, especially for the Bug Gym, right?
That's true.
But also later on, he becomes very, very helpful. So it's good to keep him around. And he's also found in the same forest around Pikachu.
And I know you're going to hate this, Sam, but if Froakie's not your deal and you weren't a Squirtle fan either, there is an Azuro in the same place you can find Pikachu.
Not a fan.
With enough love and care, he'll become your very own Meryl. The water was very good for the Rock Gym.
Yep. And now I think that's a good idea because he's also a fairy Pokemon. You might as well have the new fairy type.
Yeah, try him out. See
cool.
you like the new fairy moves.
But as you know, I would wait until, if I had to get a water Pokemon, I would wait until right around the second gym area in the beach where you can catch a Magikarp and turn him into a Gyarados, which is a dragon water. Is that correct?
I think so, yeah. Also, if you need some help in the first gym, if your Pokemon feel under-leveled or you have too many bugs, catch a Bunnelby, bring him into the first city, for Santaloon City. There's a trainer there who will trade you a Bunnelby, level 3 Bunnelby, whatever, for a level 10 Farfetch named Quacklin. And Quacklin is awesome. I love him. I'm still
Farfetch
using
is
him
a
right
fighting
now.
Pokemon.
He's a flying Pokemon. He has a lot of slashing moves. He has Fury Cutter.
Yep.
He has Slash. You can teach him Cut later when you get the Cut TM.
He's a classic, too. So
He's
it's
a
kind of
classic,
cool.
too.
I don't think you probably won't stick with him for the entire game, but maybe you will. We don't know yet. You know, right?
If his name
I
is
mean,
Quacklin.
I'm not getting rid of Pikachu. I know that.
Oh, yeah.
You know. So I also wanted to mention one other Pokemon which I can recommend. And these last couple are like kind of, not as great recommendations as the early ones. But there's also a Riolu you can pick up, which becomes Lucario. Now, you get a free Lucario later in the game. But if you want him early, then you can go to, what is it?
It's right to the where you can find Azurill, to the right of Santaloon City.
Yeah, there's actually a little
kind of
passage
like where before the Elite Four is. We can't get there yet.
Yeah, exactly. There's an entrance to the Elite Four, and you go around the grass there, and you can catch Riolu. Now, to evolve him into Lucario, it's a little weird. You have to get him. You want to use a Luxury Ball to catch him, because you have to make him happy, and then you have to fight with him during the daytime, and he evolves. It's a little bit complex, but just look up
I think it's
Riolu
same with the
evolution.
Azurill. You gotta give him a lot of love and care. So use a Pokemon to me too, and probably lose up their trust a lot more too.
Yeah,
and I think
and some of these, and like this is surprising that we're talking about Lucario this early in the game. Like that's really cool. Like before even the second gym, you can catch a
yeah.
You can,
I mean,
you
he's
can
a good
have Lucario.
alternative to if you don't want Pancham.
He has really strange moves.
Chick.
Like I'm not going to go too far into it, but people like him because even the first moveset you get with a Riolu is like really strange kind of countering moves and stuff like that. So good to battle your friends with.
There was a movie about him, and he did star in Smash Brothers. So he's got that popularity going for him.
Yeah, absolutely. So those are our recommendations for early game Pokemon. And man, if there's this many great Pokemon early in the game, I'm sure we're going to have a lot more to say.
And
about
if you
late
have
game
your own
Pokemon.
opinions, let us know in the comments. We'd love to hear what you want to field for your early team.
Yeah, absolutely. I'd love to do a community suggestions for this. You can't ever catch too many Pokemons.
Gotta catch them all.